Climate change is our biggest problem. This podcast lays out some of the smartest fixes for climate change. My name is Matt, and this is Climate Solutions. Today, cool it, hot stuff. When I was a kid, my dad used to go around the house switching off lights and shouting that we were wasting electricity. In those days, that meant we were wasting money. Now, my 8-year-old daughter goes around the house switching off lights, shouting that we're wasting electricity, which today means we're harming the climate. Energy efficiency is a crucial part of the fight against climate change. Today on Climate Solutions, I'm going to show you how you can reduce the amount of energy you use to cool or heat your home, and the impact that can have on climate change. Subscribe to the entire series of Climate Solutions from the European Investment Bank, the EU Climate Bank, to learn what you should do to fight climate change in the oceans, on the road, even on your digital devices. Nicola, can you turn the lights back on? I can't see my notes.
I'm just listening to your advice and trying to be more efficient with electricity, Matt.
How about if I speak a bit faster?
I'm gonna give you 8 minutes, so use your time wisely.
Okay. The electricity and fuel used to heat, cool, and light buildings accounts for nearly 40% of energy consumption in Europe. It's responsible for around 35% of greenhouse gas emissions. Buildings are the single biggest consumers of energy, so making them more efficient can have a big impact on the race to meet climate goals. The challenge is immense. I mean, there are lots of buildings and lots of them are old. Nearly half of all European homes were constructed before 1970. Back then, materials, standards, and techniques did not take into account how much energy was consumed. Many of these older buildings will still be in use in 2050 and beyond. The European Commission estimates that 75% of buildings and houses could be made more energy efficient, but less than 1% of housing is renovated each year for energy efficiency. The European Union wants to cut overall emissions by 40% by 2030, and it wants to increase energy efficiency by more than 30%. The European Investment Bank's ambition to finance 1 trillion euros in climate action by 2030 is going to be key to achieving these targets. What is energy efficiency? It means when you do things to your building that result in lower gas or electricity consumption, but you get the same or even better comfort. For example, you retrofit a home. That means adding better insulation to the roof and walls or installing a new boiler, so you get the same comfortable temperature, but you use less energy. Modern LED lighting and skylights provide the same illumination as older lighting, but they use much less electricity. Smart homes turn off gas or power after a certain time, and that cuts energy use. Energy-efficient windows and doors can make a difference in energy bills and comfort. I used one word that's worth going into more deeply: retrofitting. What's retrofitting? Well, let's get retro. While Nicola cranks up the groovy disco sounds, allow me to pull on my flared jeans and my 1970s Ajax shirt with Johan Cruyff's name on the back. Oh yeah, I'm looking cool. I'm hot stuff. I have retrofitted myself. Well, if I were a building, of course, it'd be more complicated. I'd have to renovate myself to make me more energy efficient and comfortable. That might mean a new heating and cooling system or better insulation in my walls and roof. But retrofitting cuts the cost of living or working in a building, and it cuts energy use, which is good for the climate. And that's cool. Okay, so if you want to turn yourself into hot, energy-efficient stuff, how do you do it? To support the European Union's policy objectives, the European Investment Bank offers a bunch of financial and advisory products and initiatives aimed specifically at building renovation. These products can help owners, developers, cities, municipalities, housing companies, investment funds, corporations, and financial intermediaries. Let's take a look at one of the bank's programs. There's more than one, but let's look at this one. I usually steer clear of acronyms on this podcast because they're just confusing, but now we're going to talk about one that's easy to remember. It's called Elena. Yes, like Disney's Latina princess, Elena. Here's how Elena works. Before a project can get off the ground or receive financial support from a bank or a municipality, say, it often requires technical assistance. That's where ELENA comes in. It stands for the European Local Energy Assistance Facility. ELENA's grants pay to help develop projects such as feasibility studies, program structuring, business plans, energy audits, and the preparation of tenders and contracts. So it helps you plan out what you're going to do. Over the past 10 years, ELENA has provided more than 168 million euros in grants for technical assistance on energy efficiency and renewable energy in buildings, homes, and urban transport. The initiative has helped add new windows and boilers in schools and kindergartens. It's improved insulation in social housing. It's built tram networks and installed rooftop solar systems. In one ELENA project, the Slovenian capital of Ljubljana asked for help to renovate 70 schools, libraries, health centers, and even a landmark castle. ELENA helped the city to do all this and lower its district heating costs. The old song said, "It's a long way to Tipperary." You know that one, Nicola?
Not really, no.
Well, it's a long way to Tipperary, but that didn't put off ELENA. ELENA went there. Tipperary's in Ireland, by the way, to make a grant that allows the Tipperary Energy Agency to prepare energy audits and feasibility studies for hundreds of energy renovations in private homes, helping residents install and replace older heating systems with modern heat pumps. ELENA assistance also includes projects for more energy-efficient housing in Poland, reduced energy consumption in Romanian schools, and new hybrid buses in Spain. It's also had some big projects in Belgium, Latvia, and outside the EU in Armenia. Ultimately, ELENA's 95 projects so far are expected to lead to over 6 billion euros in investment in energy and transport efficiency, and that will mean a savings of more than 3,600 gigawatt hours of energy and 1.4 million tons of carbon emissions each year. All right, I can see Nicola's finger creeping towards the light switch, so I'm going to be very efficient and wrap things up now with a tip on how you can get financing to do an energy efficiency renovation of your home or office. If your local bank has signed up to an intermediated energy efficiency loan from the European Investment Bank, then they can provide citizens with loans that are long-term and at favorable rates. You can check if one of your local banks is involved by searching for your country and energy efficiency on our website, eib.org. You might also be able to get financing through a program that's supported by ELENA. That's our episode. For the research, I want to thank Reinhard Six and Louise White, who are senior energy engineers at the European Investment Bank. Subscribe to Climate Solutions, and you'll learn what you should do to fight climate change in your town or city, on the roads, on your dinner plate, and even on your digital devices. Right now, go and look into a retrofit for your home and listen to our other episodes to do the job right. I'll be back with Nicola the Climate Croat.
I'm about to flip the switch, Matt.
Next time on Climate Solutions from the European Investment Bank, the EU Climate Bank.